Hi, welcome to Chair Yoga. In today's practice, we're going to have a nice, strong practice, building strength, building core strength. And then at the end, we're going to come down to the floor today. We'll do a supported wide leg forward fold and a supported back bend. So if you do not want to come down onto the floor today for any reason, that's okay. You can. I will show you a version of the seated forward fold if you want to do that, and then you can skip the back bend part. You will have the option to do Shavasana on the floor or seated in the chair. So it's going to be 100% optional for you. Props today, you just need a chair. It needs to be a stable chair, no wheels under it, no swivel motion, and preferably no arms. And then I am a short person. I'm 4'9.5". Sorry. I used to be 4'9.5". Now I'm 4'10.5". I gained a whole inch by doing yoga and Pilates, decompressing the spine. Just something to think about there. So because I'm short, I put my feet on blocks. So I'm a little bit more ergonomically correct in my posture, so my knees and my hips are in that same plane. This is kind of like here's my knee, here's my other knee. You can see why that is important. If you're a taller person, you may not need those blocks. So other than that, you don't need anything else. Let's get started. So I'm going to sit all the way back into my chair. And I'm going to sit nice and tall. And I want to grow long from my crown, the top of the head to my tailbone. And I want to avoid leaning back in my chair. So I want my core to do some work here. Strong front will support a strong back. And as you settle in, just notice the breath for a moment. Is that breath calm, smooth, rapid, choppy? Do you have expansion of the rib cage on that inhale? Do you breathe with the belly? Do the shoulders lift up towards the ears when you breathe? And then from here, good. Staying with that nice calm breath, breathing and expanding through that rib cage. Let's take our arms up overhead and reach up, turning palms away. Good. If you go taller as you press that air down, lowering the arms. We're going to turn the palms back up to the ceiling. Inhale and lift. And turning palms away, grow taller from crown to tail. And we'll come one more time, turning the palms to the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach. As we touch the hands together, good. We'll bring the hands down into heart center. Creating an intention for your practice. What would you like to give or receive from this practice? You can always dedicate this to yourself, someone, or something. And then from here, once you're ready, good, we're going to take that back up and reach. Let's get a side bend. So I'm going to take my left hand to the side of the chair. I'm just going to get a nice side bend over. I'm noticing I'm not kind of leaning here, but I'm taking the rib cage out. I also want this top arm to be long if I can. That's going to get you a little bit more into the side body here. And notice if you have this forward collapse of the shoulder, and if you do, could you open up that chest? Breathing and expanding. I obviously needed the stretch. I just felt my back pop a little bit here. So good. And we'll come back up. Good. Right arm's going to come down. Left arm's going to come up. We'll get that side bend towards the right. Good. Nice long arm. Shoulders and hip in alignment as best as you can. Try to expand that rib cage. And coming back up. Good. Let's take a twist. I'm going to take my right hand to the outside of my left thigh, and my left hand can be anywhere along the chair that's comfortable for you to grab. But we want to twist from length. So nice and tall here. Good. And just twist. So it's important that when you twist, a couple things. We're not cranking through the low back. So if we're doing that, we're too deep into the twist. Our shoulders are relaxed, maybe down. Can you find expansion of that rib cage? And then once you're ready, good, we'll gently release and come back to center. Going to the other side, left hand to the right side. Good. Your right hand's going to come somewhere to the side or behind you on that chair. We're going to lift and lengthen and take the twist. Good. Avoiding that cranking through the low back, breathing and expanding. Shoulders are down and open. And once you're ready, good, we'll gently release and come back to center. So we're going to come to some seated cat-cows here. So to best show you this, I'm going to rearrange my chair sideways here. And for this one, I want to sit more towards the front edge of my chair. Good. So if you've got osteoporosis or something like that, where forward flexion of the spine is not good for you, then don't take that part. If you've got something going on where maybe extension is not good for you, then don't take that part. So listen to your body, move how you know you need to move it. I'm going to take my hands to the top of the knees, and I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a tug here. My arms are long. I'm going to use them as a little bit of leverage. Zipping up that front body. Inhale. Good. I'm going to extend chest forward, rolling shoulders back. Maybe tailbone goes back a little bit. And exhale, maybe tucking the tail, scooping in and rounding. There's your cat. Inhale, extension, cow pose. Exhale, and cat. Inhale, extension. Exhale, flexion. Inhale, extension. And exhale, flexion. Good. And then from here, just come back to the nice false spine. So I'm going to move my blocks out of the way here for time being. I'm going to take, actually, you know what? I'm just going to stay right here. So we're going to go ahead and warm up the lower body a little bit by doing some hover squats here. So again, I want to be the edge. Your feet can be at least hip width apart. They can be a little bit wider if you need to. But from here, I want you to try not to push off the chair when you come up. So see if you can take your arms forward, overhead for a little bit more challenge. I'm going to kind of come somewhere in the middle here. I'm going to come forward. So I'm getting into the heels. Good. And then I'm going to lift up. Good. Good. I'm going to come to the hover and have a seat. Hover, lift, hover, have a seat. Press off with your heels, legs, and glutes. Hover, come up, hover, have a seat. And again, hover, stand up, hover, and have a seat. Oh, that feels good. Let's do that one more time, Coming in, hover, and stand, hover, and sit. Woo. Shake out one leg, shake out the other. Let's take this into a forward fold. So we're still seated on the edge. Take your feet long in front of you. You can point your toes towards the face. Long back, big inhale. Exhale, hinge from the hips, come forward. When you can come no more at the long back, hands can come down. If forward flexion of the spine is safe for you, you can keep going. Breathe and expand into that rib cage. Return to your intention. And then once you're ready, good. You can walk your hands back up the legs. We'll bend one knee at a time. Good. And I'm going to come to standing, and we're going to work through a modified sun salute A. So blocks it in their way there. I'll just come here. Good. Okay. So make sure you're standing in front of the seat or the chair. I'm going to take my feet hip width apart. Now, those of you that are maybe a little bit more seasoned in your practice, you can feel free to step the feet together or closer together. Otherwise, follow me with hip width apart. Let's take a big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, we're going to bend the knees and taking the hands to the chin. Good. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Nice long back if you can. You're probably not going to be parallel to the floor here. That's okay. You do what you can do. And then exhale, I'm going to bend. From here, I'm going to press back up. Good. And hands are going to stay on the chair. Kind of find a grip that supports your body. So it might be this way. It might be this way. I'm going to step my feet back and I'm going to find a plank here. So real important on the plank. You want to push that chair away from you so we don't want to hang like this. So we're protracted in the shoulders. We've got a nice long body. Maybe pressing through the heels a little bit here. Belly button is in. This is core work. Front and back side. Different things for different people. Some of you are going to hang out here, and especially where extension is not good for you. If extension is okay, maybe you sit forward a little bit and control it as you lift up and round. We don't want to hang in the low back, but you're getting extension and you're supporting yourself with the upper body. And then from here, moving back through the plank, I'm going to shift back and find a down dog. Good. And you can bring your feet in closer to you if you need to. Ears by the biceps, maybe knees can be bent. Breathe and expand. Now, if you can here, this is something that I teach a lot in vinyasa, more traditional yoga classes. Your eye of the elbow, go ahead and start practicing turning it more where it's more in line with your pointer and your thumb. And that will start strengthening your shoulder girdle here. So if you have aspirations of coming to the floor one day, where you have that in your practice, you're going to have a stronger down dog, stronger plank, stronger arm balance. That's not to mention safer. Good. So from here, good. I'm just going to bend my knees a little bit here. Pressing up, walk the feet forward. Good. A little bit of a bend, little fold. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. From here, we'll bend. Good. You can keep your hands on the chair if you need to, but I'm going to press through my feet and coming all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. And we're going to run through that again. It'll be a little bit quicker this time. So big inhale and reach. Exhale, bend the knees and we'll fold. Hands come to the chair. Pressing through the feet and the legs. We'll lift and lengthen halfway. Nice long back here. Exhale, and we can bend the knees and fold in. From here, step back into your plank. Get set up into your plank. You can also take this onto forearms on your seat as well if that's what you need. Good. From your plank, you can hang out here, or maybe you find that extension. And then from here, shifting back, this might be your down dog, or maybe you bring your feet in a little bit here. Find yours. Again, elbows turn towards the pointer and the middle finger. Breathe. And then from here, good. I'm going to lift up out of there. I'm going to walk my feet forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Nice long back. Exhale, we'll bend the knees to fold. Hands on or off the chair, pressing through the feet. We'll come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Coming back to your breath. This is a mountain pose. And come back to your intention. Great. So from here, I'm just going to leave this chair right here for right now. And we're going to come into a gate pose variation, So normally this is done on one knee and the leg out. We're going to do it standing though. So if you need to hold on to something, there's a couple things you can do with your chair. Now I've got a open back, so I could turn my chair around, stick my leg through here and have something to hold on to if I needed to do that as we come in. Otherwise, be very mindful. You can come up against a wall here. So I guess you could technically do it this way if you don't have any arms. So you don't want something. So I'm going to turn this back around the way that I had it. Good. So from here, good. So this is my left leg. And this is my right leg. My right leg, hip, knee, and toe are tracking forward. And my left leg, I've got my toes pointed forward towards the camera. And they don't have to be that way. You can also turn them towards the ceiling. Just whatever it is that you do with the toes, Your knees and your hips need to also follow that same direction. So we don't take our toes forward and then try to have our hip and knee facing the ceiling. Okay, so just make sure everything's pointing in the same direction. And then from here, you can take a big inhale and exhale. I'm gonna get a nice side bend here. Good, reaching. A little bit of a deeper side bend than what we did seated a moment ago. Breathing and expanding. Good. Using your obliques if you can. We'll come up here. Good. We'll just counter stretch for a moment. You won't go very far. And if this doesn't work for you at all doing the counter stretch, don't go there. Balance is different for everyone. And once you're ready, we're going to do that one more time. Good. Taking it over, reaching. Oh, what a nice stretch in that upper body and a little bit here into the inner thigh. I'm strengthening that other leg while I'm here. And we'll come up. Good. Counter stretch if appropriate. When you're ready, good. We'll come back up. Okay, so I'm going to remove that foot. Before we go to the other side, let's work on a warrior two or a triangle. So I'm going to do a standing version of warrior two today. I'm a little bit stronger. And there's different ways that you can do this one. So if you need to hold on to your chair, good. You can just put it somewhere where you can kind of hold on to the back if you need that. And you can also put it this way if you need to kind of hold on to the front angle. Just kind of manipulate it as to where you need it to be. Good. So I'm going to be right here. Now, same leg as here. This happens to be my left side. I'm going to step my left foot forward. I'm going to step my right foot back. Good. So from here in this lunge, I'm just going to check things out, make sure I'm okay. From this right hip, I'm going to turn everything out. So my hip, knee, toes, everything went in that same direction. Okay. Front hip's going to come back just a little bit though. Good. You can have a bendy knee. You can lengthen here, do what feels good to you. I'm going to hold on to my chair. Good. My hips are going to stay where they are. So I'm twisting my chest and torso to the side and reaching here. Good. But my gaze is going to be to the front. Good. And I'm just going to breathe about 5 breaths here or so. Good. If it's getting into the knee, make sure you're in the heel. Could you practice pressing through the outer edge of that back foot? Could you be soft here a little bit and be able to pick up the toes without picking up the foot? Good. And then from here, good. I'm just going to lengthen that leg. Good. So from here, we're going to go into a triangle. So your stance for your warrior two should be okay for your triangle. And I'm going to show you a couple different things. So from here, good. You can have this here holding on for your triangle. You can reach in. You can also kind of have this to the side, which is what I'm going to use here. So whatever it is that you need, find what you need. Good. Now from here, good. My front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. I have some softness in that knee. Good. Pressing a little bit through the back leg, I'm going to lengthen. So I want a nice long spine here. When you start to contort, you're losing that length. So hand will come to the chair. Good. Belly button is in with length. I'm going to open up into my triangle. Now, this is also a nice starting point. So if you feel like you're strong enough to like, I don't know if I need my hand on the chair anymore, you can start to play with that. Maybe you take it to a shin, and then maybe eventually you move to a block. Good. Remember, we want to twist from the waist here. So the twist doesn't come from the arm. We'll look down at that front foot, put a bend in that front knee, and carefully come out of there. Back foot's going to step forward. Good. We're going to do that all on the other side. So I'm going to take my chair to this side. We're going to get that gate pose on this side. All right. So from here, now I'm on my right side. I'm going to put my right foot here. And I want to try to do this the same way that I did it on the other side. So the other side, my toes, knees, and hips were pointing forward. Okay. Also want to make sure that hip, knee, and toe are also pointing forward as best as I can. Zip up nice and tall. Big inhale, exhale. Get that side bend towards your chair, towards the lifted leg. Breathing and expanding. And once you're ready, good. We're going to come back up. You can hang out here, or we will take a little bit of a side bend if appropriate for you. Noticing that balance is different from side to side. So are the hips. And when you're ready, good, we'll come back up. We'll take that back in. Good, and breathe. Notice what you feel, where you feel it. So I feel a nice stretch down my whole side body here, as well as in this leg. Well, the left side is strengthening. And then I'm going to come back up, staying here, or you can side bend over gently. When you're ready, good. We'll come back up, and I'm going to remove that foot. So going into the warrior two and the triangle on this side. So I'm going to do it the same way that I did it on the other side. So I'm just going to bring my chair here. Good. So now I'm going to step forward with my right foot. My left foot's going to come back. Kind of get your footing here, get your bearings, make sure you're okay before you move on. And then from that left hip, knee, and toe are going to turn out about 45-ish degrees. Good. You can put a bend in that front knee, not going past the knee, ankle, or you can keep it long, you choose. Good. Now my front hip is going to shift back a little bit. Good. It's not a squaring off of the hips. I'm just shifting it back. Helps that knee track towards the pinky toe. And then try not to move my hips. I'm just going to twist to the side and reach. Good. So my gaze is towards the front here. Breathing. Again, this is also a nice lead off here. So if you feel like, well, I'm stronger today, maybe I don't need to have my hand on a chair, then you can always take that next step. And then from here, good, we'll bring that back arm down and we'll lengthen that front leg. So again, you choose what you need. You can stay there for a triangle. Good, I'm gonna move my chair back in here. Good. Good. So using your warrior two stance as best as you can. Good, I'm gonna lengthen that front leg. Front hip's gonna come back hip's gonna shift forward. Good, and I'm just gonna lengthen, 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 lengthen. When I can come no more, then I'm gonna open up. Good. So I can actually get my forearm on this side. Good. Opening up here, twisting from the torso. Looking up at that hand if you can. If not, looking down is fine or straight ahead. Find your breath. Find the heels. And then once you're ready, looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that knee. Good. And we'll come up from there. Back foot can step forward. Good. And just march that out. So we're going to take this into a warrior three variation. So I'm going to come back to my chair here. And from here, good. I'm just going to take a little bend in the knees. Hands will come to the chair. Good. And then I can lengthen my back out here. So just kind of find a good position for you. This can also be done on the forearms here if needed. And I'm going to let my right leg be my supporting leg here for a moment. So my right hip, knee, and toe are going to track forward. I'm going to pick up and bend that left knee. And then I'm just going to take that leg back. And it might be a little bit. It might be a lot more. But I want that left hip to drop slightly since we're a little bit more supported. And your right or left hip, knee, and toes are pointing towards the floor. So turning out like this is a different position. We're pointing towards the floor. Good. Try to not to hang in this hip. You've got your chair to help you. Breathing. Feel that strength happening. When you're ready, good. Left foot's going to come forward. Joining the right. Good. Just do a little bend here. And then pressing through the feet and the legs, we'll come all the way up. And we'll take that to the other side. Now your left leg's going to be your supporting leg. Good. I'm strong in my upper body. I'm supported by my chair. I'm going to pick up my knee, right knee, and then I'm going to take it back. Maybe it's a little bit. Maybe it's a lot. Maybe I drop that right hip slightly. So my right toes, knees, and hips is facing the floor. And then try not to hang in the shoulders or that left hip. Staying with the breath. And from here, your back leg is going to come up, meet the front leg. Bend those knees, coming down. And then once you're ready, good, we're just going to press those legs up. See if you can release from the chair, coming all the way up from here. And exhale, hands to heart center. Returning to your breath, returning to intention. All right, let's do some ab work on the chair. Some ab work on the chair. So I'm just going to come here. I'm going to come to the edge of the chair again. So I'm going to start easier to hardest. So don't move on to the next thing until you've mastered the first thing. So you can hold on to the sides or to the back here. And I'm just going to do that to support myself. So I've got a long back, but I'm hinging from the hip. So I'm leaning back a little bit. And when I do that, I feel the core already kind of fire up a little bit here to support me. So there's option one. Good. Option 1.5. I'm using those abs to lift my knees in a march. Good. Now, if you're okay here, maybe you can let go. Okay. Options again to make this more challenging, holding on. Both knees are going to lift together. Too far back. Good. Then exhale on the lift. Use your abs. You may not be able to do that many. That's okay. And again, another option to make it harder without holding on. Okay. Find it where you need to find it. Good. Both feet are going to come onto the floor. Good. We're going to lift up out of there. Take those legs long in front of you. Point the toes towards the face. Long back to start. Big inhale. Exhale, leaning forward. And then taking hands down. If forward flexion is appropriate for you, you can continue to fold in. Breathing and expanding. And we've got a twist and a pigeon stretch coming. A twist and a pigeon stretch. So from here, you can walk the hands back up the leg. Good. And we'll come back up. Now, I'm going to grab my blocks here. Good. So I'm going to sit a little bit more back on my chair. Good. And we're going to get a twist. So this is the same twist that we took earlier in this class. So sitting up nice and tall. The right hand's going to come to the side or behind somewhere. Left hand to the right side. You just lift and twist. Now, depending on how open you are in the shoulder, maybe you reach. That may or may not be good for you. So you choose. And then we'll come back to center and we'll take that to the other side. Right hand to the left thigh, left hand to the side or to the back of your chair. Good. And we'll twist. Good. Being mindful to stay out of the low back. And again, if you want to take that arm back, you can. Stay with the breath. Return to intention. And then we'll come back to center. Good. So coming into a pigeon stretch. So some of you can totally pick up an ankle and put it on top of the knee and come there. Others, maybe not so much. Maybe you need to take your left leg long. Good. Cross your right ankle over. And for some of you, this might be your pigeon. Okay. Others are just going to kind of let that leg come up It's going to kind of help you drag and be there. Okay, so you can be here. You can also lean in. That will give you a deeper stretch there. Just kind of find it where you need to find it. You can always, you want to press on the thigh, not the knee joint, but you can always kind of work that knee more towards the floor. I would recommend just kind of letting it press and come up a little bit. And then once ready, good, we're going to come back up and we'll do that to the other side. So do it in the way that you need to do so. So do you need to take your leg long and cross over like that and then kind of pull it up, or can you just pick it up and put it over there? So get there the way you need to. Good. This might be enough, or maybe you lean in. This is my tighter side for sure. Breathing and expanding, coming back to your intention. My intention is gratefulness and gratitude. I have the ability to record my classes when I'm not able to do it on my normal day due to unforeseen circumstances. And then from here, it will come up from there and we will undo. Good. So from here, we're going to come to standing. See if you can come from that hover squat. No hands, lean forward, get into the heel, get into the legs. Good. I'm going to move my blocks to the side. Good. I'm going to leave my chair right where it is. So we're going to use the chair to help us come down to the floor for that wide leg forward fold. And I did promise I would show you a version of that. So if you're going to do a seated version of that, sit to the edge, maybe not too far to the edge. Just take your legs out wide, and they can be externally rotated or forward, just kind of depending on what you want to feel. And then from here, just kind of lean forward. Good. And then you can support yourself here. So that's the way you can do a seated wide leg forward fold. But those of you that are going to follow me through the floor, good. We'll take it big inhale and reach. Exhale, we'll bend the knees, hands to the chair. Good. Using that chair to take one knee down at a time. And then in the way that's best for you, coming on to a seat. So I'm going to take my legs. The chair is going to be in between here. I'm going to take my legs out wide. And I want my toes, knees, and hips to be towards the ceiling. How far away or close this chair is to you is going to be up to you based on your level and where you want to feel it. So the closer you are to it is to you, it's going to be a little bit more restorative. So you can kind of take your arms here and just rest your head there. The farther away from you it is, it's going to be more stretchy, because then when you come here, you're going to feel more of a stretch. I want to feel that stretch today, so this is where I'm going to be. So be where it is that you need to be for your body, your goals. And as you breathe, try to expand that rib cage. Try to relax the shoulders here, even if you're propped up. And then once you're ready, good. Just gently come out of there. Now, for those of you who do not want to lie on your back and do a back bend, you can comfortably come to your seat, and you can do your Shavasana there. You can go into an early Shavasana. You can always lie on your back for that one. But from here, I'm going to take my hair clip out. I'm going to scoot close to my chair, because once I get down here, I want to be able to put my feet up here. Okay? So I'm just going to roll the shoulders back a little bit. And I've got a little bit of a tabletop position here going. So my knees are over the hips and my heels are on that chair. From here, I'm going to press into the heels and my arms and shoulders and lift up. This can also be a wonderful Shavasana position if you want to just stay here. So rolling the shoulders back. Good. I'm going to press my arms and shoulders into the floor. I'm going to press into my heels. Zipping up, big inhale, exhale, I'm going to lift up. Now, how high you come depends on your own body. And then from here, you can lower that back down. Good. We'll do that again. Big inhale. And you can play with your feet. Some people need to be on the edge here. So just kind of play around with what you need to be. Good. And when you're ready, good. I'm just going to lift back up. If you're in a hard chair, but you've got bony heels, you can always put a blanket or a pillow on it and taking it back down. Good. We're going to do that one more time. We're going to pause a little bit longer at the top, and then we're going to roll down bone by bone. So again, nice wide through the collarbone, pressing into the arms and shoulders, pressing into the heels. Good. Lift up. Take it where you can take it. How do you know if you may be too high? So there's that bone at the base of the neck that sometimes likes to uncomfortably pop out. If you are feeling that, you are no longer in the shoulders, you're in your neck. And then that's how you know that you've gone too high, too far. Now, from here, we're going to roll down from the mid back through the rib cage, through the lumbar, and back down to the sacrum. All right. From here, it is time for Shavasana, the relaxation. So you choose where you want to be. Do you want to be right here? Do you want to lie flat, no props? Do you want to come back up and sit on your chair? You totally can choose. I'm going to stay right here because this feels lovely to me. I'm just going to roll my shoulders open here. And then just relax. Breathe deep. Return to your intent. And then since you're taking some deep breaths, and from here, whether you're seated or on the floor, you can choose stillness or maybe invite a movement of the fingers, a wiggle of the toe, or a gentle taking of the head and neck from side to side. If you're seated, it's going to be like a gentle shake no. And then from here, if you're with me on the floor, good, gently, you can kind of scoot your chair away if you want to, or bend your knees in, going over to the side. Taking all the time that you need here, and then we will carefully come up to a seat. Good. So what we're doing is we're making our way back into the chair. Good. So from here, good. I'm going to kind of get my feet behind me. Good. You can use the chair to help you come up in the way that you need to. Good. 1 foot at a time. Good. And then coming to standing. And then because I want to face you for close, I'm just going to take my chair back here. I'll bring my blocks back in. Good. Having a seat. And then from here, sitting up nice and tall, taking the arms up, big inhale, reach, reach, reach. As you touch the hands together, We'll bring the thumbs to the forehead for good and true thought, the lips for good and kind words, and the heart for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.